Autoflight. Let's talk today about the perhaps biggest eVTOL maker you've never heard of, Autoflight. We'll be reporting on this company a lot in the future, as they are the world's first company which has all three airworthiness certificates for a ton-class eVTOL. The Civil Aviation Administration of China in July of 2025 approved the Airworthiness Certificate AC for the Carry-All, completing the final stage of initial airworthiness certification review. The aircraft now holds all three essential airworthiness certifications: the Type Certificate for Design Approval, Production Certificate for Manufacturing Authorization, and Airworthiness Certificate for Individual Aircraft Certification. This achievement establishes the Carry-All as the world's first eVTOL aircraft above 1 ton capacity to get all three certificates. The holy grail of the three certificates means the company can now start full official commercial operations. Now, Autoflight did a clever thing to obtain these certificates. It built a pure cargo drone eVTOL which has all the features of a flying taxi, but a cargo bay instead of seats inside. This way, it was much easier to get certified in China, and Autoflight can not only start generating revenues by selling their V2000CG Carry-All, but also generate valuable flight time and flight data, which will go into their manned eVTOL program. By the time of getting certified, Autoflight had already flown some 40,000 kilometers according to their press statement. Flight operations have been conducted across multiple terrains in China, the United Arab Emirates and Japan, including across plains, plateaus, deserts, forests, and over oceans and rivers. The V2000 series is their flagship 2-ton eVTOL in a lift and cruise configuration, meaning unlike Joby or Archer, the famous US startups, Autoflight doesn't need tilting rotors, which are technically complex, need very careful maintenance, but are perhaps more efficient in theory. Instead, Autoflight has 10 rotors for the heavy lifting of vertical takeoff and landing, as well as 3 propellers at the back for the much easier part of pushing forward once up in the air. The Carry-All features a maximum takeoff weight of 2 tons, payload capacity of 400 kg, cruise speed of up to 200 km per hour, and a range of around 200 km. The fully electric unmanned aircraft combines vertical takeoff and landing capabilities with fixed-wing cruise efficiency, as eVTOLs do. Later in this year, in August, Autoflight reported a concrete application of their eVTOL in a strategic partnership with China National Offshore Oil Corporation and CITIC Offshore Helicopters, completing the world's first offshore oil platform cargo transport mission by an eVTOL. The aircraft departed from a designated launch facility in Shenzhen, carrying essential supplies, including fresh provisions and emergency pharmaceuticals, completing a 58-minute transoceanic flight to the Huizhou 19-3 oil platform located 150 kilometers offshore. Time will tell if this is indeed superior to delivery by boat or traditional helicopter, or if it remains a fancy one-off application. A few words about the company. In typical Chinese fashion, their website is very limited in information, showing only their products, news updates, and some basic information. The company has the common, though strange, structure of a Hong Kong-based investment vehicle by Chinese people, which then acts as a foreign investor that sets up various branches of the group structure inside the mainland of China. Anyway, the total investment is registered around 1.6 billion RMB, which is about 230 million US dollars, but that is just the sum of registered capital, not to be confused with market capitalization. Autoflight is not yet IPO'd, so we cannot say for now how much its valuation would be or will be one day. Definitely an Autoflight IPO will be very interesting once it gets announced. In February of 2025, Autoflight announced an initial purchase of 12 eVTOLs by Hanyang Investment for 157 million RMB. In April, Autoflight then announced to build a production facility for their eVTOL in Hanyang, and Hanyang Investment will help them to expand internationally. Hanyang is a district of Wuhan City in central China, where later in 2025, Autoflight eVTOLs were used for a test application. With over 2,000 swimmers in the Yangtze River for an annual traditional river crossing festival, their carry-all unmanned eVTOL provided aerial protection as part of an innovative water, land and air three-dimensional emergency support system. So in this case, the state, in form of a local government like Haiyan investment vehicle, supports the startup financially by purchasing a number of yet-to-be-produced eVTOLs in exchange for becoming a production location, creating jobs and tax revenues in the future. In early April, they followed up with an order of multiple eVTOLs. They didn't disclose the exact number, I guess not too many, by the city of Hefei in Anhui province near Shanghai, in exchange for setting up their East China headquarters in Hefei. But things got even better when, still in April, Autoflight announced an order of no less than 100 eVTOLs by China's massive CITIC Aviation Leasing, a subsidiary of the Chinese state-owned financial conglomerate of CITIC. If we assume a similar price to the Hanyang deal, that's an order of well over 1 billion RMB, probably close to $200 million US. And if these deals are all successfully delivered and paid, Autoflight's initial registered capital will already have been recovered with orders. And this is before any international expansion takes place. So I sometimes wonder if Joby and Archer investors are aware of these developments in China. I know the VW and Mercedes leadership wasn't when China picked up speed on electric vehicles. Yes, Archer and Joby built bigger systems and heavier and more fancy ones. But Chinese companies tend to start with simple models, start selling, start gaining traction, finding customers, and then building up bigger and bigger and better models in the future. So beware of Chinese competition coming in. If you like this kind of coverage of individual low-altitude players in China, let me know. Please comment, like, and share. Thanks for watching.